Lauren, obviously I know that the mother-son relationship was paramount to you. Like, that was a very important thing in the writing and in your pitch and all of it. What intrigued you the most? What did you most want to explore in the relationship between Frances and Oz?
I mean, for me, when I start thinking about characters, I ask myself a lot of questions, and it's just a little bit of a lonely process, but it's just me kind of typing out things to think about. And one of them is, what does Oz want? Who is he? Where does he come from? Those are the many things that I start to think about. What is he afraid of? And I wanted to make sure that in this rise to power story that there was something greater behind that. I don't think people seek power just to seek power. I think they seek power because of a deeper want or a deeper void inside of them. And so to me, it made a lot of sense to build a mother figure for him and have so much more emotion rooted in that. And so I thought about this idea that Oz wants to make his mother proud, and he needs her love and affection, and she's withholding. And I started to ask myself why she would be withholding, and that's something that we reveal deeper in the season. And that felt like a personal connection to me. It felt like everyone can relate to some level of what it is to have a complicated family life, and rooted in that. And then I wanted to create just a really complicated, bristly, emotional, tough broad. I just thought it would be fun to write. She's loosely based on my grandmother, Ophelia, who very different Mexican immigrant, came in but had a very hard life when she came to the United States, and she was tough. She was really, she was tricky, and she would just say wild things, but nothing like Frances. Frances has a dirtier mouth, and Ophelia would be very upset with me if I, to know that I was loosely basing Frances on her. But I just wanted a woman with energy that felt like Oz exists because of her, that he is who he is firmly because of her. And then, as Dee Dee and Colin have already said, when they came together in that camera test and then their first scene together, it was incredible to watch. That magic trick that they felt, everybody felt on set. I mean, it was the spark that happened between them. And obviously Dee Dee worked on the accent to match Colin's accent that he worked with Jessica Drake, his dialect coach, on. And it just made sense. I'm like, this is 100% Oz's mother. That is her son. This completely kinetically works. I also wanted the relationship to be weird and twisted, a little bit verging on Oedipal, to understand Oz in a deeper way too, to have just some form of distorted relationship. Well, Colin really embraced that.
Lauren, this question came in for you. How did you incorporate fandom into your creative process here? Is that something you have to think about at the forefront when you're doing something like this?
I mean, my goal is to make sure we're honoring the stories that have come before us and then try our best to make something that feels wholly original within it. I think the thing that I was most excited about, honestly, is to create new canon and, to be able to, create new characters or to evolve the characters in a different way and just, put my own stamp on it. That was really invigorating and exciting because I grew up reading comic books and I loved them, and I always wanted to tell stories like that, and just being given the opportunity to do that on the scale like this, I wanted to make sure as a fan that a kid like me would be excited, and yet hopefully we could draw in more people, like some people who aren't always included normally in that kind of experience. So really my goal was honestly just to create interesting stories, to have characters that feel relatable and intriguing and repulsive at times, that you want to watch and you're not quite sure why you want to watch them, and you start to think deeper about your own self in doing that. I mean, that was the goal, and to get to dabble in this kind of sandbox of Gotham City and the world that Matt established in the film was just really exciting for me. So, to do justice to what's come before, but then also to kind of break the mold and free ourselves of that was at least my goal.